Good evening, good evening. This is Caesar, a martial artist, a photographer, and a dad. Thank you very much. It was great, even though the weather was not really good. It was an exciting interview with Sensei Mullan of the KEIRYU Practical Karate Club. As you heard it, it's practical karate. I also want to say thank you to Sensei Tracy, his assistant, and his whole class who welcomed me open hands and let me try to enjoy the training too. So it was really great, and I'm very honored in given the chance. He's very so humble person. I got nothing to say. He's a 4-degree black belt. He's also one of the participating instructors who give seminars to Sensei Ian Abernethy. Excuse me, and it was really great. This is a short blog. I just want to say I want everybody to enjoy the interview as the time goes. Every interview now is getting exciting. The opportunity to cross train with every instructor is very humbling experience. Again, I hope you enjoy. The karate club is based in Essex. And again, I'm very thankful for everybody, subscribers, 228. Thank you very much for all your support. Again, this is Caesar, a martial artist, a photographer, and a dad. Yes, before we end this one, just to give you a rough idea, the practical karate they do is the version of kata. Yes, kata. For those who don't understand it, kata has a practical use outside of the karate club, which is the streets. So if you think it was really graceful, it was really awesome to watch how they perform by famous martial artists from the World Cup to the Olympics. I cannot say myself or my daughter that we're performing it really that graceful. But as we perform this kata, it's really great to learn and understand the brutal system of kata. It's so graceful to look at, but if you know the practical system of how it works, it's very brutal and dangerous to learn actually. And for those who knows what I'm talking about, knows how the impact of it is. From the grabbing to the hold to the turn to the movements of everything from it. Again, I just wanna thank you to each and every one, the subscribers, to all my batchmates from the Manchester High School Public 93, BSN Nursing 97, my mom and dad, my family, my wife, my 2 kids, Abby and Audrey, everybody who supported me from my family, from the De La Rosa clan, Velasco clan, Mejia clan, Lorenzo clan, Wino clan. Thank you very much to each and everyone. This podcast will never happen without you. Again, this is Caesar, a martial artist, a photographer, and a dad. Thank you very much. Sir, a martial artist, photographer, and a dad. Good morning, Sensei.
Nice to see you.
Thank you very much, Sensei Mullan, KEIRYU Karate. We're here and we're fortunate he gave us a chance to be here. I know he's so busy.
Thank you for coming. It's great to have you here.
Again, Sensei, my first question is, when did you start your martial arts?
I dabbled a little bit as a child. It never really stuck. Had to go again in 1996, did a few months. Never stayed long enough to get a grading. Got into a relationship, stopped training. Started again properly in 96 when that relationship ended. And stuck with it pretty much since. So this is my 21st year now of training, pretty much.
Oh, well, you can see you have a very good record. You were mentioning to me a while ago, you were talking about Sensei Ian Abernethy, which I thought when I first attended your seminar with Sensei, actually second, because the first one with Keegan Richard Canton, when I first met Sensei Ian. Then I came to Mullan to train again seminar with you. I thought you were classmates.
No, I'd trained under Ian at one of his seminars when he was in Chelmsford back in 2007. I loved what I saw.
Same with us.
But I was still within the organisation that cross-training was frowned upon. But I loved it, and that itch was always there. So when I left the group that I was part of, I was with them for 15 years, I thought, okay, I love this stuff. How do I plug into this more frequently? Other than just going to his seminars, which were great, I booked him to come to me.
Wow.
So getting Ian to come to me was fantastic, and I've been training with Ian, I can't remember how many times now. I've I've done his residential courses, I've gone to his
Wow.
seminars,
Imagine that.
and sometimes I go up to his dojo, so go up to
Really?
Cumbria.
Oh yeah, I can see all the Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So a big influence on my training.
So I know we obviously your one is Sensei Ian, and another one is obviously you mentioned me Bruce Lee as your other influence, Jackie Chan, and all the 80s on us like us.
Yeah.
Another Sensei, because you mentioned to me about the bullying, being an instructor. So how good did it help you to serve the community like you're doing right now, as a personal experience?
What I was doing in the past, it had no use whatsoever. I thought it did. It was sport karate, and it mentioned that we teach self-defense, but you can look back and go, where is it? So when I started teaching, I wanted to be able to give that. And again, initially I wasn't, because I was going under that banner of traditional karate, keep fit, learn self-defense, when there's no practical use whatsoever. So training with Ian Abernethy and Peter Constantine, and you go, yeah, this stuff makes much more sense with practical use.
I understand. Regards with the influence, regards with the experience, regards with the community, your achievements, because I've seen a lot of your awards from the past. You're a very humble person, but in the past, your achievements that you would say that will encourage all your students, how do you encourage them?
I don't use any of my past for that, so I don't go by honorifics. I'm Lee to my students and my friends alike. So my sporting, I used to win kata competitions. I've got national and a couple of international medals for kata, but it's not something I shout about. If my students want to compete, it's not something that I do.
Yeah, so you advise them.
But if they want to do that, I've got a friend of mine and a training partner who I cross-train with, Doug Connell, and he runs the PAKT, Practical Applied Karate Tournament.
So literally it's more on your practical and he's the more of the competition now.
So Doug Connell's got a great thing with that, and that's something that we're going to plug into.
With the England team, isn't it?
No, he's a Goju-Ryu guy.
A Goju, well.
But we cross-train together, and that's something that he worked again with Ian Abernethy on, that they'll have solo kata and bunkai and impact work and combinations and groundwork.
Lucky students.
But yeah, it's not something that I'm interested in anymore. I enjoyed it at the time, but it's not for me. But if my students want to do it, I'm not going to hold them back and go, hey, I don't want to do it, though you can.
I like that answer.
It's not for me. I can facilitate it, but I'm not doing it.
Last two more questions about school. Most likely you answered everything. Your comparison, because I know you said you never talk about your past, but regards with the tournament and the practical application of it, how do you compare it to, does it help as a confidence for the students? Obviously they don't want to go out and let's see how I know or let's check what I can do, but does competing on your experience did help a bit of confidence trying to discover like practical system training like you do nowadays?
I think the confidence that I had when I was competing, certainly kata-wise, I was only confident because I was winning. If I wasn't winning, I wouldn't be very confident. And I would use a mask of confidence when I was lining up to go and perform by using that to try and help other competitors by saying, hey, you'll be fine, just go in there and do your best. But yeah, I enjoyed winning.
Oh yes, of course.
But I didn't enjoy being up there and being under the spotlight
with so many people.
Yeah, I'm not a performer.
and then obviously you teach practical systems, so I believe that you if you want to answer more or not or explain it more, but with regards with the practical, I'm pretty sure you're more to the students in focusing outside, especially now the night crimes and everything. How would you introduce your style of martial arts, Sensei?
Well, that violence hasn't changed. It's always been there. And it's easy for martial arts teachers to reinvent violence to make it fit with the dojo way that people punch you from 6 feet away. But certainly using the formal kata as the teaching method, it's that 6 foot distance, somebody stepping and punching isn't there in the kata. The kata is brutal. So it's really useful for me, for someone who is very neat at performing kata. That same neatness can be put into when you're applying the kata, and you go, oh, that's ripping somebody's neck.
That's really great. Actually, Sensei, that's a real good one because people sometimes, oh, you only compete in kata. That kata doesn't have any use at all when you go outside. They don't understand the value of it.
And I love it. I love it. I get blown away. So, and I still do it now, 5 years into applying this stuff, of going, it's so easy.
I know.
It's not made up. It's not contrived. It's not relying on the attacker being in the particular stance and attacking with a particular finger.
But it's very practical.
It's brutal and it's simple. And it's difficult to get your head around how simple it is, rather than there's 8 people stepping in to punch me and you go. And when I'm teaching that, I've got adults out there. I've got a former Royal Marine Commando in there today, and he's trained for years, and he goes, my goodness, it's so simple. And I love seeing people go, I never knew that. I know, it's great.
And plus, that's true, because when I started attending Sensei Ian Abernethy, meeting you, it's like, okay, so we're in the right path.
Yeah.
We're in the right path, because at first, obviously, in the past, I've done martial arts in the past, but understanding kata was just part of the training.
Yeah.
But when you go attend somebody who knows what they're talking about, it's so easy to do it.
And you've got to have find that path. You're very lucky if you walk into the club that's on your doorstep and it has all of this.
True,
so 15 years of doing stuff, and you go, you know what? I understand now that it's not for me. My goodness, this is for me. Hitting stuff hard, and especially you go to these seminars and you've got people that may be a lower grade than you. I mean, going up to Ian Abernethy's dojo and I'm working with an orange belt and going, I want to be as good as you.
Yeah, that's true.
And you've been training 6-9 months. Hey, I've been doing this for 15 years and I want to be as good as you. It's a humbling experience.
It's true. It's a humble person like you, I understand. So it's it. On my last question, because I don't want to bother you no more, because I also want to experience your training. I'm so fortunate, so lucky. My daughter's not here. So I'm sorry about her, but she's quite busy with kids stuff. So regards with your mention about cross training, how do your opinion, your personal? I know you have a great experience about the story about it, Sensei.
Yeah.
Anything about it, Sensei?
It's so important to cross train. Again, coming from a background where you didn't, one master, and reading old books like the hunter that chases 2 rabbits catches neither. That's not, something that complements what you do. I've been fortunate enough to train with Ian Abernethy countless times, Peter Constantine, Rory Miller, Chris Wilder, Christian Wiedevaart, Patrick McCarthy, Neil Adams at MBE.
Shian, or how you call it, Sensei? Shian Patrick is more than that.
Yeah.
Hanshi.
It's certainly nice when you're working with these people in the first name terms. The honorifics aren't there. They're just people.
I know.
So train with other people. And I've hosted these people as well. I've got them to come to me. So Neil Adams, I don't do, I've trained briefly in judo, but my gripping skills, my groundwork skills, my throwing skills, if I want to increase those, you wouldn't go to a tennis coach to help you learn how to throw.
That's true,
and I asked Peter Constantine a few years ago, so 9th and Peter Constantine, head of the BCKA, the WCA, the BCA, said, I didn't want to bring age into it, but if you were in my position, who would you go and train under in seminars? He said, I wouldn't. He said, if you were going to go and train in something, if you wanted to become better at tennis, you wouldn't go to a seminar. You'd get a tennis coach.
That's true.
He said, so my recommendation is if you want to add something, then add a system. So for him,
really nice.
He was karate and he added Wing Chun.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Thompson was karate and he added judo. So these are different, but they help each other. And if you went shopping at Tesco, and the next week you went shopping at Morrison's, you go back to Tesco and say, sorry, you're not coming back in again. I hear you've been shopping elsewhere. Our students are our income, they're a revenue, but more than, we're there to help them, but not to put them down. I hear you've been training somewhere else. That's wrong. If it's good, do it. And help me learn.
That's really great.
I've got a guy who's not in there today, but he's 30 years of judo.
Wow.
He's a rugby player, very, very capable guy. But he comes here and he's learning from me. And I spend time and I'm going to be learning things from him. And it's good. It helps each other. Not, I am the instructor, know your place. It's horrible. And I'm sure you've witnessed that as well. You've been at the receiving end of that. You're not high enough grade to speak to me. It's disgusting. I really don't like it.
Thank you very much, Sensei. Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your chance.
Subscribe to his channel. Follow him. He's a good guy.
Thank you very much, Sensei.